Welcome. We're going to go over how I do my patterns when I pull something down off the internet. First thing I would do is save the images, preferably in a JPEG or TIFF, and we're going to do the pistol case that I made a little bit ago. And these are the three images. What we're going to do first, since I do my work in Photoshop, we're going to open Photoshop. Once Photoshop's open, you go up to the Open File and you highlight the images that you want to open, and it will bring them up into the screen. To make it easier, I go to Fit Screen on all of them, so I get the largest image possible, and the case is 12 inches by 8 inches. I want to make a new sheet for the case. So I'm going into landscape. You can look on the right, the width is 12 inches and the height is 8 inches. And 300 resolution is fine. Background white, you're pretty much okay here, and just hit create. And now you've got a sheet that is 12 inches wide by 8 inches tall. What you can do also on this case is hit Fit Screen. It'll give you a little bit of room around it. We're going to, first off, since we have this, we've got to set areas for the handles. And the handles on this are 3 inches down from the top for the bottom of it, and 1.5 inches from the outside edge. And we're going to go to the rectangle tool. I've got my screen set up where I have my rulers in inches. So along the top at the edge here, you can see it's on 0. And then you go to the right and it's on 12 inches. Kind of makes it handy. And the same thing here, you'll see it's on 8 inches. I'm going to want the block 1 inch. Actually, let's go 3 inches. And you can see on the little block to the right, it will give you the width and the height. The block is going to be, we're just going to drag this up here to the top. We want to be from 1.5, so we want to go over to 2.5 inches. And then we'll bring the other side in to 1.5 inches. Then we draw down for 3 inches. And that's our block. Once you do that, you just hit enter. You can minimize this. You can go over to this one and hit duplicate. We've got 2. The top one is active. Top left is move tool. And let's see, now we can do it. We're going to come in 1.5 inches. And it's easier if you do this with a mouse than a trackpad or anything. For me, I have more finesse. I have more control. So this is the panel that we're going to put our images on. Now we'll go to our images. First, we want to make it a black and white, and oh, have to remember, there we go. And we can adjust the colors. I really don't need to know what colors they are. All I need is the black line and just a little to show me on the top where I need to tool. So at this point, I'm going to flatten it. To one layer. I'm going to duplicate it. Then we'll decide on the size of each image that you want, or the size of your image. I went with 3 inches for my size. So what I can do here is go to Edit, go down to Transform, and I go to Scale. Since I know I want 3 inches, it's moving everything 3 inches. So the proportions stay the same. I'm not moving the sides in more than I am the top. Once I've got it sized, I'll go up to my Move tool, pick it up, and bring it to the tab for the side panel, bring it down, and drop it. Here, you can see it's a different size. The pixels per inch on the other image was different than what this sheet is. So we're going to have to resize it again. And we already said that we wanted 3 inches. We'll go to the Move tool again, and we'll just set this in an area for now just to park it, and we'll come back to it and set all the images where we want them. This one here, again, we're going to convert it to black and white. I print everything in black and white. I use a laser printer. It's more fast if you get water on it. It doesn't just bleed away. There we go. And again, we'll go back. We'll flatten it. And then we'll duplicate it. We are already on the Move tool, and we'll bring it up to our panel side and just place it. We're going to go back through the step of resizing to get it to 3 inches. And if you're that small, you're not going to notice a difference. Back to the Move tool, and we're just going to park these just to get them in position. Now we'll go to the last image and we're going to convert it to black and white. And you can adjust it till you get the coloration. You want to go for the most contrast that you can. It'll just make it easier when you go to trace it out. We'll go back and flatten it. Come on now. And we'll duplicate it. We've got it duplicated. We're on the move tool. We'll bring this over also onto our panel. Now, since we've got the approximate 3 inches for the top patches, the bottom one we're going to have to size more to taste. We know that our panel is 12 inches, so we've got a center line of 6 inches. We'll take the right patch first. We will make sure to highlight the panel or the thumbnail. We're on move already, and then we just decide where we want to place the first one, and then we'll go to the second one and try to line it up. Now we'll go back to the bottom tab. We're going to resize it first. And then we'll place it. And all of these are subjective. You will find the size that you like. And you'll see these lines popping up, the pink ones. That's telling you that you've got it centered left to right and up and down. If you like the looks of this, then you can save the image as a TIFF in case you want to come back in and adjust it, or you can flatten it. At this point, you would go up to File, Print, and as I stated before, I use a laser printer and I just print everything in black. I don't need color, and it's cheaper on the ink. So you just go to Print and Proceed, and you'll just have to follow the procedure that you have for your printer. And this is the whole process that I use to make a pattern for an item that I'm making. I'll find the image on the internet, or I'll scan it. If I have an image that I've taken, I'll bring it in, convert it to black and white. I try to make it as high contrast as possible so that you can see the lines easier. I will try to get rid of extraneous stuff If it's a photo that I don't want to tool, I'll just get it out of the picture, and that way I don't have to worry about it. And I won't get confused and draw that line in. I want this to be a fairly short video, so I'm not going to go into a photograph. We'll look at that next time. But now you've got a pattern that's sized to your panel, and you've got your images all lined up, and you just proceed as you would normally do. I would take that piece of paper, put some clear packing tape on the back, and case my leather and imprint the pattern onto the leather and go from there. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them and I'll try to get back and answer the comments. And I really appreciate you watching. Have a great night.